Say this to any woman, and she'll be instantly attracted to you. So many men struggle to create real attraction because they keep saying things that sound cringe, predictable, or forgettable. And a woman can't feel anything for a man who blends into the background. Attraction doesn't come from scripts or sweet words. It comes from the sentences that wake something up inside her, the ones that separate you from every man she's met before. Most men don't realize this, but a woman decides how she feels about you long before she admits it. Not because you're the best looking or the richest man in the room, but because of the way you speak to her. One sentence can raise her curiosity. Another can shut her down completely. And the reason so many men fail is simple. They talk to a woman the way a stranger would, not the way a man with presence would. What truly draws a woman in is when a man speaks with a mixture of calm confidence and emotional clarity. When his words show that he sees her, not just her appearance, but her mind, her energy, her patterns. That kind of understanding is rare, and rare is always attractive. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what to say. A simple line that creates an instant shift in how a woman feels toward you. It works not because it manipulates, but because it speaks to a part of her psychology that most men ignore completely. Once you master this, you'll never struggle to stand out again. You'll know how to trigger the kind of attraction that feels natural, effortless, and deeply human. Say this to any woman, and she'll be instantly attracted to you. The one sentence that captures a woman's attention in a way most men never manage to achieve. It's simple, direct, and powerful because it hits a part of her psychology that's always active, her desire to feel understood without being judged. Most men try to impress a woman with charm, compliments, or surface-level confidence. But what truly opens her interest is when a man says something that cuts through the noise and makes her pause. Something that shows depth, awareness, and emotional intelligence. The sentence is this: "You're more interesting than you pretend to be." This line triggers immediate curiosity because it tells her three things at once. You're paying attention. You see something in her that others overlook. You're not intimidated by her beauty, attitude, or surface behavior. Women often hide parts of themselves, their real humor, fears, stories, or softness, especially when they're around a man they're not sure about yet. But when you say this, you signal that you're not fooled by the character she presents. You see beyond the mask, and that is rare. Rare makes her lean in. Rare makes her want to know you. Imagine you're talking with her. She's giving short answers or acting guarded, and you calmly say, "You're more interesting than you pretend to be." The shift is instant. Her eyes soften, her posture changes, and suddenly, she's the one trying to prove you right. The attraction doesn't come from flirting. It comes from awakening the part of her that wants to be seen, not just noticed. This sentence works because it challenges her in a gentle, confident way. It doesn't chase, flatter, or pressure. It invites her into a deeper space. And when a woman feels invited instead of pursued, attraction begins naturally. Now, why this line works on her subconscious instantly. This sentence, "You're more interesting than you pretend to be," works almost instantly because it bypasses her logical mind and touches the part of her psychology that responds to emotional recognition. Attraction isn't built through facts, compliments, or obvious interest. It's built when a woman feels something unexpected, something that tells her you understand a part of her she usually keeps hidden. Women are used to hearing predictable lines. They're used to men reacting to their looks, their attitude, or whatever persona they show on the surface. But deep down, every woman carries layers. Most people never take the time to notice. The moment you suggest there's more to her, more personality, more complexity, more emotion, she feels exposed in a good way. It creates a shift in how she sees you because you're not speaking to the image she presents. You're speaking to the person underneath it. This sentence also creates a subtle challenge. Not aggressive, not arrogant, but confident enough to wake up her curiosity. It implies that you're not buying into her walls, and even more importantly, you're not intimidated by them. That alone separates you from the majority of men who either try too hard to impress or become overly cautious around her. Another reason this line works subconsciously is because it flips the dynamic without creating tension. Instead of trying to win her over, you gently place the responsibility back on her. Are you willing to show who you really are? This taps into a natural instinct. When someone believes there is something more inside her, she feels the desire to reveal it, not to please you, but to confirm to herself that she is more than the surface. There's also a psychological trigger at play called identity curiosity. When you tell someone they're more interesting than they appear, their mind searches for meaning. What does he see? What does he mean? What does he know about me? That internal questioning opens emotional space between you, and attraction grows in that space. Most men trigger a woman's defenses. This sentence does the opposite. It disarms them gently. It tells her she doesn't need to perform, she doesn't need to protect, and she doesn't need to play a role. She just needs to show up. And any man who can make a woman feel understood without pressure becomes memorable instantly. How to deliver it so she feels your confidence, not neediness. The power of this sentence doesn't come from the words themselves. It comes from how you say it. A woman can feel the difference between a man who speaks with grounded confidence and a man who is using a line hoping it will impress her. The delivery matters because attraction isn't just verbal, it's energetic. She reacts not only to your tone, but to the state you're in when you speak. To make this line work, your energy has to feel relaxed, unhurried, and certain. When you speak from a place of calm presence, you give her space to breathe. Most men rush their words, over-explain themselves, or sound like they're waiting for approval. That tension is what kills the moment. A woman can sense when a man is searching for validation instead of expressing himself naturally. Confidence is communicated through simplicity. You don't need a dramatic voice, you don't need to lean in, and you don't need to emphasize anything. You just say the sentence like it's the most natural observation in the world. When your tone is steady and your expression is composed, she feels that you're not trying to get a reaction from her. You're simply speaking your truth. That alone can be deeply attractive. The timing also matters. You don't force the line into the conversation. You let the moment come naturally, almost as if you're sharing something you just noticed. When you speak with that level of ease, it shows emotional maturity. It shows that you're observant, not reactive. And women respond strongly to a man who can stay centered no matter what energy she gives him. Another key part of the delivery is the absence of expectation. You're not saying it hoping she'll open up. You're saying it because it's what you genuinely perceive. When a man expects a specific response, a woman feels subtle pressure, and pressure shuts attraction down. But when you release expectation, she feels free to respond however she wants. That freedom actually draws her closer. Your body language also supports the message. A relaxed posture, slow movements, steady eye contact, these signals show her you're not intimidated by the moment. Confidence is quiet, it doesn't need decoration. When your presence is calm and your tone steady, the sentence lands exactly the way it's meant to, as a reflection of how clearly you see her, not as a tactic. And when a woman feels seen without being pursued, she naturally leans in. The mistakes men make that kill the attraction spark. A sentence this powerful can open a door, but the wrong behavior can close it just as quickly. Many men don't realize that attraction often fades, not because they said the wrong thing, but because their energy after saying it was out of alignment. When a woman senses inconsistency between your words and your behavior, the spark weakens. And once that spark dims, it's difficult to bring it back. One of the biggest mistakes is over-explaining. Men often feel the need to justify their thoughts or clarify their intentions, especially when they sense a shift in her mood. But the moment you over-explain, the sentence loses its strength. What was once a confident observation becomes a plea for reassurance. Attraction shrinks in the presence of insecurity. Another mistake is trying to force connection after the line has already landed. You don't need to suddenly deepen the conversation or push for emotional intimacy. Women naturally open up when they feel emotionally safe. But when a man tries to accelerate the moment, it creates pressure, and pressure makes her retreat. The line is meant to be an invitation, not a demand. Men also tend to watch too closely for her reaction, hoping to see a sign of interest. But when you monitor her facial expressions, her tone, or her body language too intensely, it signals neediness. Confidence is reflected in your ability to continue the interaction without analyzing every detail. A woman feels more drawn to a man who trusts his own impact. Another common mistake is shifting into a performer role, changing your behavior because you think you've gained leverage. Attraction isn't a game of control, and women can sense when a man is suddenly acting different in an attempt to create an effect. Authenticity is what made the sentence work in the first place. The moment you turn into someone you're not, the energy shifts. Finally, men often ruin the spark by becoming too available too quickly. The sentence suggests that you see beyond the surface. But if you immediately start chasing or giving her all your attention, the dynamic becomes unbalanced. Attraction thrives when there is space, when both people have room to express themselves without pressure or expectation. What keeps the attraction alive is consistency, calm presence, steady energy, and the ability to let things unfold naturally. When your behavior aligns with the confidence behind your words, her interest doesn't just stay, it grows. Now let me tell you how this one line changes the way she sees you forever, because when you use this sentence the right way, something shifts in how a woman perceives you. You stop being just another man trying to impress her, and you become someone who carries depth, awareness, and a level of emotional intelligence she doesn't encounter often. Women remember men who make them feel something real, and this line does exactly that. It shows her you're not operating on the surface, and that alone separates you from the majority. But here's where many men need a wake-up call. Attraction isn't built by saying something clever, it's built by becoming a man whose presence matches his words. Too many men expect one moment of confidence to erase months or years of insecure habits. It doesn't work like that. A powerful sentence can open her eyes, but your behavior afterward determines whether she keeps them open. When you speak with awareness, she sees you differently because you're showing a kind of confidence that isn't loud, needy, or performative. It's the type of confidence that tells her you don't fear emotional depth, you don't fear her complexity, you don't fear connection. A lot of men avoid these things without even realizing it, and women feel that avoidance instantly. This line also changes her view because it places you in a position most men never reach, the man who sees her without losing himself. That balance is rare, too rare. And when a woman encounters it, she can't help but feel drawn in. But here's the truth, many men ignore. If you want her to see you as someone unforgettable, you must stop acting like someone replaceable. Stop shrinking your personality. Stop living in fear of saying the wrong thing. Stop letting insecurity guide your actions. Stand in your presence. Speak with clarity. Stay grounded even when the moment feels vulnerable. When you become the kind of man whose voice carries calm strength, you don't just attract a woman. You transform the way she experiences you. That's what makes the attraction last. That's what she remembers. When you speak with awareness, she sees you differently because you're showing a kind of confidence that isn't loud, needy, or performative. It's the type of confidence that tells her you don't fear emotional depth, you don't fear her complexity, you don't fear connection. A lot of men avoid these things without even realizing it, and women feel that avoidance instantly. This line also changes her view because it places you in a position most men never reach, the man who sees her without losing himself. That balance is rare, too rare, and when a woman encounters it, she can't help but feel drawn in. But here's the truth, many men ignore. If you want her to see you as someone unforgettable, you must stop acting like someone replaceable. Stop shrinking your personality. Stop living in fear of saying the wrong thing. Stop letting insecurity guide your actions. Stand in your presence. Speak with clarity. Stay grounded even when the moment feels vulnerable. So I'll say this one last thing. A woman isn't attracted to the man who tries the hardest. She's attracted to the man who understands her without losing himself in the process. That truth alone is enough to upset a lot of people, because it exposes how many men are chasing approval instead of building presence. And yes, it's controversial, but it's real. Women aren't confused. Men are simply not speaking to them with the strength, depth, and emotional clarity women naturally respond to. The line you learned today isn't magic. It works because it shows a level of awareness most men never develop. You're not just complimenting her. You're awakening a part of her that wants to be seen. And when you do that with confidence, not neediness, you create an attraction she can actually feel, not just observe. But remember, the sentence alone doesn't make you unforgettable. You make you unforgettable. Your energy, your calmness, your ability to stay centered, your willingness to speak with depth instead of fear. That's what sets you apart. I want you to share your experiences in the comments. Tell me the moments where you felt unseen, misunderstood, or unsure how to connect. Tell me what resonated with you today. I read everything, And I reach out because this channel isn't just content. It's a space for men who want to rise into a stronger version of themselves. And before you go, keep this in mind. Most men focus on the words. Very few focus on the energy behind them. And that's why only a small percentage truly understand attraction. In the next video, we're going even deeper into the exact behaviors a woman shows when she's quietly falling for you but won't admit it. You're not ready for this one, but you need it.